councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. The first reports say that President Kennedy has been seriously wounded by this shooting.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Either you were with us or you were with the terrorists.
But I also believe that a lot of gun owners would agree that AK-47s belong in the hands of soldiers, not in the hands of criminals.
Guns will be taken, and no one will be able to be armed. We're going to take all guns.
For many of the police and guard troops, it is an uncomfortable job to do this in an American city.
Global governance at last. Is it one world? The central bankers in charge. But aren't we all just living and dying for what the central banks do?
As for me, give me liberty or give me death!
The answer to 1984 is 1776.
It's December 31st, 2012. I'm Alex Jones, and get ready for a very special edition of InfoWars Nightly News. Straight ahead.
Tonight on the InfoWars Nightly News, the globalist witch Dianne Feinstein cackles as her Obama-backed plan to begin treasonous gun grabbing accelerates.
I'm going to be putting forward a package, and I'm going to be putting my full weight behind it.
Then, we break down drones in the skies over the Vikings-Packer game last night. All that and more on the InfoWars Nightly News.
Well, it's official. Dianne Feinstein has a bill written publicly where you turn your guns in at her discretion across the board. And it's really not any surprise, because back in 1995, she told 60 Minutes that if she had her way and had the votes, and she thinks she has them now, she'd tell Mr. and Mrs. America, turn in your guns. Here's that clip.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, picking up every one of them, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it. I could not do that. The votes weren't here.
So, do I get an apology all these years telling you they want your guns? I mean, they've all written books and made comments, and the UN says it, and the Attorney General's called for all guns to be taken before when he was Deputy Attorney General. They want your guns. They'll use tragedies out of 315 million people. They'll use those poor little dead kids to disarm you because they're a bunch of tyrants. I'll get you and your little guns too. Am I pretty? So there you go. Now let's go to her also in 1995, talking about how a terrorist group was trying to kill her. Talk about false flag. That's another history lesson. And how she had her own gun to protect herself. So she has 5 bodyguards that can still carry, but you can't, because she gets to have flying monkeys, you don't. Here we go.
I know the sense of helplessness that people feel. I know the urge to arm yourself, because that's what I did. I was trained in firearms. I'd walk to the hospital when my husband was sick. I carried a concealed weapon. I made the determination that if somebody was going to try to take me out, I was going to take them with me.
And she goes on and on. It's a full 2-minute clip up at Infowars.com. But we just played you a clip of her saying she wants you to turn your guns in. Man, we're in trouble. Let's go to a clip from Obama talking about there will be resistance to the plan he has, which is the Feinstein plan. Let's go to that clip.
I've been very clear that an assault rifle ban banning these high-capacity clips, background checks, that there are a set of issues that I have historically supported and will continue to support. Will there be resistance? Absolutely, there will be resistance. I'm going to be putting forward a package, and I'm going to be putting my full weight behind it.
You know, I hope all you out there go read the bill she's got. It's on her Senate website. It says, well, you got to go to the ATF and register all your guns, and maybe you can keep them, but we'll also have a forced buyback if we want to of legal guns. I mean, it's a gun confiscation bill that just gives open-ended power, and the average right-winger and libertarian's like, oh, well, you don't need those anyways. Folks, they're doing this because they want to go after all the other liberties. I mean, this is insane level when you know all the facts. It is just amazing, but they think the public's dumbed down. They can go, children died, not the ones we kill with drones every day, but others. Give us your guns, we love you. Just amazing. Now, here's a couple clips of Biden this year in the debate saying he wrote the assault weapons ban, the original one she wanted, a total ban. But then in another clip in the campaign saying that, oh, we're not going to take your guns. That's a conspiracy theory. Here they are.
I'm the guy that originally wrote the assault weapons ban that became law, and then we got defeated. Then then Dianne Feinstein went to town on it and did a great job.
I guarantee you, Barack Obama ain't taking my shotguns, so don't buy that malarkey. Don't buy that malarkey. They're gonna start peddling that to you. I got two. If he tries to fool my Beretta, he's got a problem. I like that little over and under. You know, I'm not bad with it. So give me a break.
You know, they admit that both parties do this. They're all a bunch of crooks, but Democrats are the leading edge of the globalist takeover, that they get little breakdowns by their campaign people in each town. So when they're in Kentucky, you've seen the footage, we played it before, here we go, how y'all doing today? I'm doing real good. And then when they go before a Hispanic crowd in like Los Angeles, they go, hello everyone, do you want a taco? Or I'm seriously, folks, I mean, it is so insulting to all these groups of people. And so Biden thinks he's with a bunch of rednecks. He's like, there ain't nobody gonna get my gun. Guarantee you ain't gonna have my... I mean, just absolute bull. Remember, we did a show like 6 months ago with Perry when he'd go around. I mean, yes. Yeah, buenos dias, everybody. I mean, let me tell you something. I go speak to people in Russia, I'm going to talk in the way I talk. If I go talk to folks in Florida, I'm going to talk the way I talk. If I go talk to a crowd of white people, black people, whatever it is, this is how I talk, okay? Get used to it. But they think that's what you want to hear. And it's a total lie. Nobody's going to get my Beretta, let me tell you. Meanwhile, he wrote a bill in the 90s that would have made you turn him in. By the way, it almost makes you want to pull up. If you don't believe me, just type in Hillary speech in Kentucky. What's the exact clip? We've played it before. It's something like Hillary talks. I forget the exact headline. We got to find it. We got to have that tomorrow. She goes, I ain't no ways tired. I ain't no green gardening. I mean, it sounds like the Beverly Hillbillies granny tripled. I mean, you can't even understand. I ain't no ways tired. I mean, can you imagine if I, like, say, went to Oklahoma, because that's really where the Clampetts are supposedly from, and I walked in and I went, I mean, what the hell is wrong with these people? But again, they think that they're all CIA, and that's all anthropology, sociology. So they're all into these little files. All right, let me hear the dialect again. Biden, ain't nobody gonna get my Beretta. I wish we could find the Hillary does redneck voice or something. I forget what it is. I mean, it is unbelievably funny. We'll play it tomorrow night. I know we're almost out of time. Okay, I'm done covering that. You know, I laugh about this. Stuart Rhodes is coming up. This is deathly serious. This is an article not in the news rundown that Kurt showed me about an hour ago. Can we show people this real quick? I'm going to cover this tomorrow. The case for death panels in one chart. And this is out of Slate. I thought death panels were a conspiracy theory and didn't exist, where these panels will decide to kill old people. Hey, but look, the U.S. costs more money. Well, let's kill them. Hell. You get a better hamburger, too, if you throw away your own trash at McDonald's, and then all that does is lower the quality and get rid of entry-level jobs. We live in the society we demand. Like Salente says, quality. I want to get him back on, by the way. We got to get him back on, talk about all this. Can we get him on the radio and the TV?
As we saw in Katrina, and as we are watching now in New York and New Jersey, the federal government can't and won't help you in a crisis. FEMA ran out of water and MREs in days. Electricity is still off to over 1 million people. The Red Cross, who is quick to beg for money, is now slow to react. Don't put it off any longer. Get prepared today. While you're on InfoWarsShop.com, check out these other great preparedness items. The Aquapod kit lets you store up to 65 gallons of water in your bathtub. The Pocket Socket provides you with manual electricity for small electronics like your cell phone. The Life Straw is great for your bug-out bag. And check out our complete line of Interfood products for great tasting and nutritionally dense foods that have a great shelf life. If you are looking to secure your home in a crisis, you can order Strategic Relocations, the film, a great companion to the book Strategic Relocations 3rd edition, and The Secure Home by Joel Skousen. When the time to perform arrives, the time to prepare has already passed. Get prepared now, so if a crisis strikes your home, you and your family will be secure. Go to InfoWarsShop.com